welcome to another video. Today I'm going to make a Christmas themed character. I'm excited for this because I do have an idea in mind. So, flipping over to the back of the page of my last drawing, I began concept sketching. Like I said, I did have an idea for the character, so this is where I start putting it on paper. My plan was to make a character based off of a Nutcracker soldier. I was especially excited to create the jacket. Taking inspiration from traditional Nutcracker outfits, I put my own spin on it to fit my character. I put down what I needed to, so now it's time to start on the final sketch. I understand you've heard this from me before, but I really haven't drawn in a long time. Lately, I've only been drawing things in my comfort zone, and that would be head profiles. To make an effort on improving on my anatomy, I decided I would slowly step out of my comfort zone. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to do a stiff, uncomplicated pose, because Nutcrackers are typically that way. So doing a full body drawing is slightly challenging, but not too extreme. Now, at this point, I was liking the smaller concept sketch better than the one I was doing. I liked the way it was stylized a bit more. I think the legs were too long on my most recent sketch, so I put in my best effort to shorten them. But of course, doing that threw off all the proportions, so I had to go back and fix everything, making little adjustments here and there, etc. Anatomy is so difficult, I cannot. Anyways, I was making good progress, so I decided to add in some of the details. Adding details is pretty self-explanatory. I will say though that I was looking at traditional Nutcrackers and taking elements from it that I thought would go well with the character. I debated over giving the character a sword or not, and while it would have been cool, I decided it would overcomplicate it. I'm just about finished with the sketch, though it is messy. One thing to note is that I am a pretty messy sketcher. Now I'm going to line using Sakura microns. When it comes to lining, I'm usually pretty heavy-handed, so I took care and did my best not to mess up too many of the lines. So I'm about done with the line work, so now it's time to erase. Erasing made me realize some of the ink lines were wavy, so I fixed those up. Okay, time to choose the colors. I have my swatches right here of all of my colors, so I'm thinking I want to go with a reddish color palette. I'll see. I think I'm mainly going to use these colors. The actual colors are very different from the cap colors. And some gold colors, and of course the Copic skin tone set. I began with coloring the skin tone. I tried keeping her skin really pale because that's how Nutcrackers were usually depicted. I also didn't blend out her blush to make it look, traditional or painted, would you say? I don't know. Using the lightest color of red, I put a base shade on the jacket. I also wanted to give this really cartoony highlights. I guess maybe indicating that she was made entirely of wood. Or cake. Isn't everything made of cake? For the boots, I used a combination of black and really dark brown. While coloring I really tried to make an effort to add a lot of dimension in the drawing. Of course, it's hard to blend shading when half of your markers are drying out. And of course, I filled in certain details with gold. You and I can both see that the drawing is quite plain, so to add in a little extra something, I drew in a background. I tried 2 objects before I could find the right size circle to trace. If you've ever used markers, you know that they bleed through paper. To combat this, I usually put a piece of paper under my drawing, but alas, I forgot. Once I did, the page wouldn't stay down. Yep, it was a fun time. Anyways, I put a base shade of dark brown in the background. Using black, I go into the edges and blend it out. Using white gel pen, I outline the character to make it pop a bit. The drawing was still so bland. I also still wanted to put more into the background. In another drawing, I used fall leaves to add a bit of flowiness to the drawing? I don't know how you would say it. I decided I would add something like that to this drawing, only going along with the Nutcracker theme. So, drawing a wavy line as a guide, I begin drawing in some rats. Yes, rats. It was meant to be almost like a tribute to the Nutcracker Ballet. Lastly, to sign the drawing. And here it is complete. I have to say, I'm quite happy with it. At any rate, Happy Christmas and Merry Holidays! I'll see you in the next video.